Joined by Hofstra head coach Seth Tierney following his team's 12-8 victory over Providence. Coach, so give your overall thoughts on the contest.
Listen, anytime you come up here, it's a war, it's a battle. Those kids play, like they're coached by Coach Gabrielli. He's, they take a page out of his book. Every play is a war. You got to fight, you got to scratch for everything, and going down by one, I think, at the half, and then finally, got a couple, and then I thought we were able to relax. I don't think we were able to relax early. Again, battling a ton of injuries, and to get a couple of guys to step up, young guys. I think Pryor had one, McIntosh might have had a couple. A play by Bryce Tolme, Ryan Kennard, as a sophomore, had a big goal for us today and almost scored another one. So for all those young guys, I was just really happy for them.
You kind of said the first half you really had to relax a little bit, and you came out in the third quarter. It was just a different team from this face-offs. Gallagher winning almost 5 of 6 in that quarter. Jack and kind of making point-blank saves in that quarter, and obviously Dylan and Jimmy. Can you talk about those efforts?
So, you know what it was? It's the linking of good plays is what it is. And we were up 2-1. Dylan McIntosh had a layup down that far end, and instead of it going 3-1, now it's 2-2, and actually 3-2 them, and then it starts to switch because they linked a couple plays together. We didn't lose it at halftime. We just had to gather our thoughts. We had to just focus. They lull you into being distracted a little bit. There's a couple of calls that didn't go our way, and in the first half, and then finally we just focused on Hofstra. It's about us, and we had to focus on us.
Dylan was really big late to kind of give you a little breathing room. What was he saying in the game?
Yeah, listen, he had a couple. He probably could have had, I don't know what he finished up with, but four. He could have probably had 8. And then the last one, Ryan hit him on man up, and he threw one behind his back and turned around and bounced it into the goal. And, for him, a freshman, to have 4 goals at this point in time in a big-time game, awfully proud of him. Bryce Tolme, freshman. Dominic Pryor, freshman. A lot of guys that were young guys that went out there and really did a great job.
And another young guy, Kyle Gallagher, you're a face-off guy. What changed for him from the first half to the second half?
Yeah, well, they changed guys as well. They were going at it with 39 first, and then they switched it up to their next guy, and it took 1 or 2 for Kyle to get kind of relaxed. We had 2 violations in the first half, so we didn't want to get a third because then you'll lose the time of possession on a man up. But Kyle grounded out. He was grinding it, and awfully proud of him. I yell, I scream at Kyle, and he just takes it, and he's a warrior for us.
You talk about these young guys. Ryan Kennard had 1 goal on the day. That kind of trying to switch the momentum, and then he was playing later on in key moments. Do you kind of give your guys more shifts when they're playing really well, especially these young guys during injury times as well?
Yeah, well, you know what we noticed? We noticed that we probably are playing Dominic Pryor an awful lot with the injury to Dylan Alderman. Dominic Pryor is playing offense on the first midfield and taking almost every shift. Then he also plays man down. And when we go into a game that has a lot of penalties, now he's out there a ton. And then you saw at the game at the end of the last game with Monmouth, we gave Dominic the ball. It's really our fault. The guy, he's a freshman and he's out of gas, and we're just trying to win the game. But I love him. He stood up and he did a great job. Ryan Kennard hasn't played for us a whole lot, but with the banged up midfielders that we have right now, until we can get those guys back, we need to get. That's what we need to get. We need to get 1 from Ryan Kennard. We need to get 1 from Dominic Pryor. We need to get some of those guys so the weight isn't so hard on some of the others. Jimmy Yanis played really well today. Ryan had a couple points. It was good.
Coach, not often a lacrosse team plays 3 games in less than a week. You'll do that once Tuesday arrives, as you'll face Lehigh on Tuesday. Just your thoughts with facing all these injuries but still winning. How do you look forward to Tuesday now?
Yeah, first of all, Mother Nature, I think she's going to play a little role in this too, because we've got a little nor'easter coming in, but hopefully it's changing over to rain. I don't know that yet. I'm going to get on the phone with Coach Gassis after his game today, and we'll just talk about some contingency plans. But to get back to your question, you got to play in these midweek scenarios, and I don't like playing game, midweek game, midweek game. It's 5 games in 14 days, but there's no way else around it with the weather scenario and then with the conference stuff. And Lehigh is a big, strong, bruising team, and we're just going to have to piecemeal it together. I'm awfully proud how we gutted out these wins so far, and now Lehigh. Nothing but Lehigh as we head home from Providence.
Thanks, Coach. Congratulations on your 4th straight win.
Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.